Jade? Well, I don't know what that means. Peter, you're asking me Jade? Jay, Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah. Uh, okay. What's up, everybody? People are joining. So this is an interactive show. I'm streaming about my experience out at the casino with AZD last night, which was a third person perspective or whatever, second person. I was watching him and his girl. His girl's super fine. It's one of his girlfriends that was out with him. We were entourage just around him while he was at the the craps table and the baccarat table, and yeah, man, there's a lot to say on that. So, quick intro, guys, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I am Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation, streaming to you from Pegasus House, where I live with AZD. Hey, bro, does Arabs do BJJ? I don't know. Oh, Arash. Does Arabs. Does Arash do BJJ? Not anymore, but he's a BJJ black belt, Gracie lineage, and first black belt under Sandra Patada, who's world champion multiple times over, and that's just what it is. Okay, guys, so about winning attitude, please get a list of many guys and who they are. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. It's 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. American independence. You know, I'm a patriot, and that's the day. You know. Oh, say, can you see? That sort of independence, right? And so many messages. So we're having guys over. We have a rooftop here. You know, Vegas property's very cheap compared. I mean, California, my rent was $1,700 a month, U.S. dollars per month, for one room in a condo that didn't have a yard. It was on the second floor. You know, that shit. My rent here, $600. Woo! And my room is better. It's a little smaller, but it has its own bathroom. The other one had a share bathroom. And the house is much bigger and better. The lighting, the parking situation, of course, is much better. The rooftop, because it's bigger, and we have a rooftop, and which is really nice here in Vegas, especially at night. Really, during the day it sucks, but at night it's like 90 degrees outside, and it's like nice. It's like warm desert air. And tonight's gonna be 31 men so far, and 32 if you include Arash, have moved across United States state lines to live in Las Vegas to train with Arash. Maybe 31 now because Eros actually dropped out. So one guy dropped out, right? What are you doing? I am breathing and living, Braxton. Thank you for that question.
Yogi Chris, what do you mean by dropped out?
Just didn't want to keep participating, so he just stopped participating. You know, just like any dropout, a dropout of anything, they just stop participating. Yeah. Yeah, you were a dropout for a little while, but you had all these reasons, and at the same time, you were not as close as that guy. You know, he was living in Vegas. He had been teaching other IMC guys. He was a ranked individual. He had lived with Arash for 2 weeks as residency. He'd done many trainings with us. He'd been around. So he's been involved. And he was also a dropout before. He came and did some trainings and then left, and we didn't hear from him for like 2 years. And then he came back. Not quite. That was longer than your disappearance. But it's a category that I put guys in, especially if they've done boot camps. But really, all they need to be is on the daily classes. If they're on the daily classes and then they drop off, I call them a dropout. Peter was a dropout in my mind, but only for a couple weeks, and he had this whole strategy and plan of coming to America, and he's paving a way for himself because no one else has done that from Australia yet. So he'd be the first. That's why I said you have the potential to be the IMC leader of Australia, the whole continent. There are a dozen guys on the daily class in Australia. Adelaide, Perth, Sydney, and I'm learning the geography of Australia because I'm asking everybody where they're from. That's all I know. There's other places too. And maybe not a dozen, maybe 10, 9 or 10. And there's more. I'm talking to guys, on TikTok all the time. They just need a representative with an Australian accent. Crikey. IMC is the shit, mate. You guys gotta get in it. Quit fucking about. Or whatever, however they fucking say. And that, it brings reality. Just like if we had some, Black G character from ATL, and he's like, man, IMC's the shit, yo, and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And he's just like, IMC, that's where Benny Bates comes in, or, culture, right? So, anyway, tonight, rooftop, some of the guys are coming over that are in good standing. AZD puts in discipline at high levels on guys, and so if you were on the class today, you saw how he treated base 2, and some other guys didn't get the invite for tonight, even though they're paying weekly dues. So you could stop paying weekly dues. Like Josiah. Josiah's almost a dropout. He's practically a dropout. He's close to it. He's approaching it. But, it's amazing. You just don't know what darknesses lurk within you until you come really, really close to the light. You guys are in the light as far as you're in the light, from a distance, through a camera. And, you have the convenience of if you're triggered, then you could go and fucking lock yourself away in the closet for 18 hours and get over yourself. But if you're living in a base, you're around IMC guys all the time. You can't dip. And if you just try to fake it, then, you're going to break because you can't hold it up like that. But you go through it. Don't let that deter you from coming. That's where you're a warrior of the light. You got to go through it and bring order to it. Bring awareness to that you're holding on to bad beliefs and ideas that make your experience of life dark. That you're perceiving what's happening in a dark way, and it makes you feel dark, and you got to overcome that. That's part of this game. That's like going to the topic of today. Like, is this improv poetry? It could be. Could be. I don't think I rhyme very well, but poetry doesn't have to rhyme, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how. Now, if I try to be a poet, then I'll really fuck up. So yeah, it's more of just improv oration. But specifically telling a story about, because, okay, so guys on TikTok, you maybe discovered the stream, people on Instagram, whatever, especially YouTube, there's a lot of discovery on these streams. And so you may not know who I am. You may not know who AZD is or Rosh Dibazar. You may not know what IMC Nation is. And truly, most of you may never know. The guys online on Zoom right now are learning. You have an idea, and it's more accurate than most of the other people. But as you get closer and more involved with it, it'll become more and more clear. I can easily come from the perspective of you and I are one, bro. You know everything I know. I'm no different from you. The problem with that, first of all, I like that. And it allows me to talk to you in a way that talks to you at my level. So if you're not at my level, you level up just hearing the talk, because I'm talking to you at my level, like you know everything I know about this stuff. At the same time, it can break reality a lot of times because you don't know what I'm talking about and it doesn't carry the same meanings. And so we're not talking about the same thing. I'm talking about this, and you have totally different images in your head thinking I'm talking about those images. And so be it, that's what it is. Reservoir Dog, what's up? Following the account. So guys that are following these accounts, these are clips of AZD that grow these accounts. He's the bald, tattooed guy, spitting wisdom, talking all aggressive and whatever. And he's claimed to fame more than any other. He has a lot of claims to fame. But that he has multiple relationships with 9s and 10s, effortlessly, in perfect harmony, perfect divine order. All the women are under him, but they're not suppressed. They teach women, they're coaches, they high-level women, as far as high-level women go, definitely beautiful. And then as far as women and ability to communicate and everything, I mean, if you're going to date a self-help coach, you should probably get good at self-help. If you date a relationship coach, you should probably have a good relationship with him. If you're going to date, you know what I'm saying? If you're dating a yoga instructor, you should probably have some good yoga. You know what I mean? So obviously the guy who's a communications teacher, a game and relationships and a lifestyle teacher, so his women are reflections of that to varying degrees. And some of his women have been with him for over a decade. So that's a lot of time to get educated. But of course the thing that is missed, because it's out of reality for people, you just don't have a reference for it. It'd be like me saying, he's a great fighter, world champion fighter, this and that, which he's not a world champion fighter, but let's just say my friend, he's a world champion fighter, kicks everybody's ass, world champion MMA or whatever. But you don't really have a reference for MMA, you don't know, you never watched, you don't know fighting. Maybe you've had some fights as a kid with some friends or something, but, and then so you have some idea of like how good at fighting is, you don't have a clue. Train for 6 months and you'll start to be able to measure it. Train for 6 years and then you start to be able to measure it. When you still can't hit the guy because he was a world champion. You may never get on the level that you even score a point on him, even if you train forever and he goes easy with you. That's the difference, the gap between a world champion and like a regular guy who every man knows how to make a fist and throw a fist. So arguably every man knows how to fight. Every animal in the jungle knows how to fight, but against a world champion, you're only 20 or 30 or 40 years of experience away from that skill level, but you may never ever put in the work to get there. You might as well be 400 lifetimes away because you'll just never do it. Same thing with seduction. Seduction, to seduce. You have some idea reference of seduction. You're a man. You might be a virgin. You might not be a virgin. Doesn't matter. Like you have your whatever your experience is of trying to get a girl to like you and then getting some level of success. That's your skill level in seduction. You're comparing yourselves to a bunch of normie guys around you. Okay, that's like the guys that fight with the guys around the block, but they never really trained at a gym or whatever. Then you go against the world champion of seduction. Bro, train for 6 months, train for 6 years, train for 60 lifetimes. You may never get even close. If you train with him, you should get closer than you would any other way. And that's what we see. The guys, I mean, that's what happens. You know, you become so seductive and charming. So much certainty and confidence about male-female dynamics that it just magnetizes women around you, which also means it repels them. But it attracts others. It repels and attracts. That's magnetics. And that's what happens. You're going to have to deal with your world. You're so connected to a bunch of liberals and socialists that as soon as you start expressing your ideas, like, so you were asking me about what do you think of my Instagram now? Well, talk about the beast process. It's relatively PC. I'll tell you what I mean. It's already a little out of the ordinary to be so enthusiastic about the calisthenics, and it's a little taboo to talk about it in terms of the beast, because the beast has a lot of connotations in this world. Satan and whatever. But it's relatively PC because you're sitting in front of a camera like you are now, talking about, I haven't listened to them, but I'm assuming you're talking about the beast process, stoicism, things like that. That's very politically, calisthenics and stoicism is very easy for the world to process. Jesus, let me close out a Telegram so I stop getting...
What about the ones that you like?
I like them, but I haven't watched them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just show support. I just don't have time. But, now that you've asked, the next time that naturally I come across it, I'll listen to a few seconds. To be honest, I'm sure the information is great because you're intelligent and you're mimicking what you're learning from a lecture from AZD, so it's great. Information-wise. The delivery, I can give you a comment in like 3 seconds. I'll hear it, and I'll be able to tell you so much about it. So just be aware, if you're going to make posts of videos, that the first 3 seconds got to be on. On the energy, on the tonality, on the enthusiasm. It should hook the audience the first 3 seconds. First 1 second, really. So make sure you start at that uptone. I haven't even watched the video, so I don't know if you do that or not. But the energy of the video as I scroll past it looks kind of down with energy, down lighting. Yeah. So, right. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's going to affect the quality of the video. So, but keep going. Do the process. This morning, did you do the calisthenics in the morning?
Yes.
Yeah, so you weren't too drugged up for my angry, disciplining of you yesterday. It went in, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't that bad. I feel like you would probably, crucify me.
So that's good. Now, tell me, do you feel more powerful today that you did it in the morning?
Yeah, I do, actually. It's like doing pull-ups like Rocky, man.
It'll wake up the beast in you. You don't want to activate the beast before you go to sleep. Activate the beast before you go out about with your day so that you're a beast through the day. So keep it up, man. Keep doing that. Your next task, because you can't stop doing that, you now do calisthenics in the morning. Your next task...
It's 7 day type thing, right?
Huh?
It's 7 day type thing, right? The calisthenics is every day.
It's 7 days. I mean, some days you may need to take a rest, but yes. So keep doing that. You keep doing calisthenics in the morning. And... I'll give you the next thing if you do it again tomorrow. 2 days in a row, and I'll give you the next thing. Notice that you feel better today because you did it in the morning. Do it again tomorrow in the morning. Prove that you can do that, and I'll give you the next thing. And each thing is going to make you feel so powerful. All right. So, what I'm talking about. Angel Carlos, what's up, man? Looking forward to having you on the game with AZD. So I'm out with AZD last night at the casino. Me, Zay, and Fernando. And, there's lots of interactions happening. People are walking by. We're interacting with them. Fernando knew this guy, and he had some friends, so we're interacting with them. And AZD's there with his girlfriend, 10, a bombshell. And they're sitting at the no, it's not craps. It's roulette, the roulette table. And it's a $25 minimum, which is fucking a lot. Like, I don't want to gamble with that. And, it's just amazing because, one, it's obvious he doesn't know the rules of the game. He's like a child. It's like a childlike innocence. But what's so amazing because you would lose your money, right? So with $100, four coins or whatever you call it, four chips, $25 chips, and he's able to gamble in a way that it keeps it going. Eventually, he ends up a few $100s, and his girl is there. She's very beautiful, and she's dressed slutty, big butt, fucking low cleavage, big tits, all this stuff, all totally glammed up, looking great, and the what do you call him? The dealer, I guess, or whatever the person is that throws the ball and does, works for the casino. They're on rotation, so while he's there playing for like an hour or so, it's probably 3 or 4 different, I'll just call them dealers, that rotated on. One of them was this black chick that he picks up on in front of his girl, and that he hands over to Zay, so that's what Zay's talking about on his stream today. Another one was this like dorky small guy or whatever. Another one, there was the pit boss also, which was like this old white guy that kept coming over because he's gawking at his girl. That's the other thing. You pull a lot of attention. So the adjacent tables, the staff, everybody's pulling attention as you walk through the casino. And, so the way he's gambling, there's a freedom, there's a carefreeness, there's, when he wins, it's an excitement, but when he loses, there's an excitement. It's amazing how he handles the loss. Even if I'm sure if he would lose all his money, there's such non-attachment because it's a sleight of hand, like I said on the stream this morning. What a sleight of hand is like, look over here while I do this magic trick with this hand. So it's like the boxing trick, like you wave your hand up here and then you hit him with this. It's the sleight of hand. It distracts the person. The gambling, the game, is the distraction. You'd be mistaken to get wrapped up in the gambling and lose the seduction of the girl. How you're responding, your vibe, through all the gambling, and of course, if you lose all your $100, you lose all 4 chips in like one bet or whatever, then you're done. No, I don't know. You pull out more money, like it can get expensive. Don't take it as gambling advice to go to the casino just because he won the last 2 times in a row. But he is clearly going off of his intuition, which is part of the fun of it, because that's part of the seduction of it. He is listening to his girl, but at the same time ignoring her, overriding her a lot. Telling her no, like he's gonna do it his way, even though she's like pulling out her hair, like don't do it that way. She's frozen. The guy's like recommending, like don't do that. At some point, another guy and his wife came and sat down, younger couple in their 30s probably, and the guy is telling AZD, he's like, man, that's not even a smart bet because you're gonna break even. The best you can do is break even. If you win, you break even. If you lose, you lose. Like it's not a good way to place the bet. And he's like, whatever, like it's for God, this and that. I don't know exactly his syntax, I don't remember, but there were many God references while he's talking to the guy, and some generosity, like if I win, I'm giving you $100. Something like that. He says that to the guy. He's gaming and teasing the wife, but respectfully towards the guy also. But anybody who knows game or knows AZD's seduction, like he is seducing the wife. It's just so slow, and she's not anywhere near as attractive as his girl. Like she's like a 7, maybe 6.5, and his girl is a 10. So it's just in the interactions with the people. The way I see it, the gambling, you're really just prolonging the date. I'm not trying to win. I am trying to win, but like my point is not to win. My point is to just win enough that the interactions continue. Because while we're here, we're feeling all the highs and lows of wins and losses. We're interacting with so many employees and staff, interacting with other customers or whatever that come up. And it's a nice hotel. It's one of the nicer ones that we've been to. For example, we have these like little cigars that we smoke that are kind of on the cheaper end. They don't even sell them at that hotel. The other hotels they do. So it was a nice casino, upscale. So the people that you come across, they can afford that. They're upscale. The guy that Fernando came, that was, just to give you an idea, they didn't know, he didn't invite that guy because we were honestly a last minute change that we were even going there. And that guy had been there gambling for some time because he's telling stories. And he was talking about, and he was showing like he was $8,000 down, and then he made these kind of wild bets and he ended $11,000 up, so he ended up for the night or whatever. So that's the scale of gambler that was Fernando's friend. And it wasn't any big deal to him. Like the guy's wealthy for whatever reason. But AZD's there gambling with $100, 4 chips, with a 10, stress-free. Meanwhile, holding down 6 other girlfriends, having a great time, uploading value to the venue. He's going to bring another girlfriend there, then he'll probably bring another girlfriend there, and pretty soon the staff and everybody's going to recognize who is this character with all these beautiful women. The most beautiful women. There were several beautiful women in that venue last night. His girl was the finest. I mean, I saw what looked like celebrities. Rappers. I saw one guy, either a football or basketball player, like just enormous, tattooed with a gorgeous girl, but just not that level of gorgeous. And, okay, what is this? Okay, so, the non-attachment, the carefreeness, the freedom, the understanding that you're doing the activity not for the activity's sake. Bro, go gamble on your own time if you love gambling so much. You're on a date. The seduction is the point. Never mind the highs and lows, lose all your money, whatever. How you respond to losing all your money can still seduce the woman. Okay? So everybody, get your wallets ready. You should donate what I'm about to tell you. Donate or sign up for something or whatever, even if it's $1. Even if you're online, sign up for something, what I'm about to tell you. If you assimilate and use what I'm about to tell you, you will improve your condition in life forever. It's a gift that will keep giving. I almost don't even want to give it, but, I'm already live, so I'm going to say it. I just realized TikTok will censor me for vaping, so I got to go off camera with that. Okay. Forgot what it was. I'm just kidding. I remember. Okay, so let's say, for example, you want, let's say just for the sake of practice, you want a person you're interacting with, you want them to laugh. Okay. Right now, in this very moment, in the universe of infinite things that you can say or do, there is at least one that would make them laugh. Something they would laugh. It's probably many things, but it's at least one thing. In the universe of infinity, there's at least one thing you can do that person would laugh. And if not, then get away from that person. So, in the universe of possibilities, there is a solution to your desired outcome. It's my understanding, I know, that any outcome, there is a possibility. If it's physically possible, then that means there is a cause that creates that effect. So, if the effect you seek is for the woman to be more and more in love with you, to seduce her, so she desires you, desires to possess you for herself, if that's the effect you're going for, love, let's say you want her to feel love, just like feel laughter, you want her to feel love. There is something you can do in the universe of possibilities that she would feel it if she perceived you doing it. You get it? There's at least one out of infinity that you could do that she'd feel love. So even if you lose all your money on the table, there is some way in the universe of infinity, of infinite possibilities, lose all your money, there is some way to react or respond to losing that she still falls in love with you. There is a way to react to any situation that happens that she just keeps falling more in love with you. Because she's falling in love with the character who reacts that way. That's what AZD is hacked. That it's a way of responding to anything life gives you. If you're around him and you're a woman, you get seduced. Or you get magnetized, let's say, which still repels some women, but his game is not calibrated to get the ugly woman. Not all people are the same. So there may be one in infinity reactions that would make that person laugh. That same reaction would not make another person laugh. They have a subjective sense of humor. So that action or statement or whatever that makes the woman fall in love with you, well, which woman? Because it won't be the same thing for the next woman or for the next woman. So who are you seducing? First of all, AZD is seducing the most beautiful women. Grouped together, beautiful women respond differently than not beautiful women. They are not all the same again, but there is personality qualities of the gorgeous woman that seem to be common amongst beautiful women because of what life gives them throughout their life, being a beautiful woman, approaching them and everything, that they become a certain kind of woman. Now, we stereotype. It's not what you think because you don't have much experience with beautiful women. You just don't. But AZD's game is calibrated so that the beautiful woman falls in love. And then again, not all beautiful women are the same, so who's his target? If that's his target, that's who he's doing it. Now, if she's repelled by him, then maybe that's no longer his target. There's something wrong with that woman. But if he's chosen the girl, like the girlfriend or whatever, to seduce her, it's a way of responding to the win, the loss, the challenge, the shit test from the waitress or the shit test from the, the dealer, the pit boss, the gawkers, the entourage. Everything that happens is something can be made of it to seduce your woman. And it's just knowing what to do. And more than knowing what to do is knowing how to be so that you naturally respond that way. That's seductive. You become a seductive character. That's what AZD's teaching, is a seductive character. That's what the beast process that Sosa is invested in is teaching you, the bedrock of this character. The bedrock, like if you were in prison. The bedrock that you can then learn any other character on top of that. But if you learn other characters without the beast, AZD's beast process, then you'll get pulled into these different ways of being in these characters, but you won't have your center. The center, the bedrock that everything is built on is going to be the beast, AZD's beast. Okay, we got a comment coming in. I broke up with a chick 2 years ago. She the one cheated on me, bro, but she never wants to see me with another chick. She even hides herself to not fall in love with me again. What should I do? I don't get it. You broke up with her, so what's the issue? You're not together. You broke up. So what does it matter? You're broken up. If you're broken up, how do you even know that she doesn't want to see you with another chick? You're broken up. I don't get it. Your question doesn't make sense. If you want to go live, let's talk. Request to go live. Find more, brah. Yeah, I mean, the temporary solution to any girl problem is more. Just get more girls. But there's also character problems. There's a reason why you either A, lost the girl, or B, even chose that woman in the first place. That you have character flaws. And so if you want fulfilling relationships and not just repeating the cycle of, errors, then you got to upgrade your character. Which a lot of times means deleting things from your character. It's not necessarily just accumulating more. It's actually getting rid of habits and then aligning your habits with the right habits that develops the right kind of character that I'm talking about right now that seduces women. You know what I mean? Okay, so if you want to go live, Askilahi, you might be in India. Are you in India? Then we could talk about it. Okay, anybody else on Zoom? You guys got anything? TK's about to move to Vegas, everybody. TK. Sosa's trying to move to Vegas too, so that'll happen. Yeah. Did you have something?
Me?
Yeah, you unmuted.
No. I was just clapping for Tony.
Okay, well you unmuted. Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
All right. Okay. Askihilahil. Did you want to go live? Just say to go live. Otherwise, guys, I got so many messages coming in. I really got to do it. So that's the gist of it. Now, the gist of the winning attitude, that's AZD. And I gave you the quantum physics, right? You could shift. You can access any infinite response or any of the infinite character qualities and become the kind of character that you'd want to see in the world. That's the beast process. But now it's very helpful to have a role model that demonstrates it, that gives sound bites and situations and debriefs on how things go down so that you get a reference for how this character's role is. That's why if you're going to play the Joker, you should probably watch all the previous Jokers and get an idea. People have put in work to embody that character. So AZD, I mean, ideally, you would outdo AZD. He's a player. He's alpha. He's a ladies' man. He's a Casanova. Ideally, somebody should outdo him. Otherwise, it gets worse. The student should outdo the teacher. So we're looking for that. But right now, he's the best role model in every way with so many different beautiful women. He's talking about how to be with a virgin. He's demonstrating how to be with a stripper. He's demonstrating how to make a prostitute and a housewife. He's demonstrating how to guide a woman overcoming her trauma, how to pull her from her entire culture, basically, but seduce her. You know what I'm saying? Guys on TikTok, if you want to go live, go ahead. Askahil, Askilahi. I think I got that. Askilahi. If you want to go live, request to go live, bro. You have this big, long question, but you don't want to go live? What's up with that? Okay? So, do you have any questions on his response or winning attitude or how he gambled or anything else that I've said?
Do you want me to go live on IG or?
No, you're on Zoom right now, bro. Just you're unmuted.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I like it how he just placed like small bets, you know, like even though the other guy was like gambling a lot of money, he's like, I don't care, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, and he didn't know about that other guy. That other guy was standing on the side talking to Fernando. The guy and his wife that sat down and gambled, I don't know how much they were betting, but it wasn't like astronomical.
I see. Yeah, no, that's all I had to say about that.
Right on. Yeah, Askalahi. I'm live on TikTok, the desktop, and on YouTube. The Zoom is where you just heard Sosa talking. So if you guys want to be on my Zoom streams, because it's easier to participate, you see each other, better camera angle and everything, you just send me a DM. I have group chats that, I put out links and whatever. I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation. I run IMC Nation. AZD would say I'm the leader of IMC Nation. I'll say I'm the leader of IMC Nation. I do lead. He's the founder, and he's my leader of this movement. And, but he hands over me to be, I'm like the general, he's like the president, or whatever. So, we're always organizing streams, and I have a newsletter with lecture notes that I take from AZD's lectures and connecting guys in different areas of the world. So, like, I'm connecting all the Albuquerque guys, all the Australia guys, all the UK guys, and because I know where everybody is. So, that's what I do. Okay? Anybody else? Last chance. If you want to live stream and talk game, Q&A, or anybody on Zoom.
Is AZD going on? Because I know Sultan was telling that AZD was going to do one-on-one consultations for the people that bought the products yesterday for his group. Do you know anything about that? Is it today?
Are you sure you understood Sultan right? Because that's not what AZD does.
Oh no. Maybe I didn't, but
No. AZD doesn't do one-on-ones. He can do a one-on-one if you have a lot of money, and we can, Askalahi. I'm going to add you in a second, so stay on, bro. One-on-ones happen naturally. Here's the thing about a one-on-one. So much of what he would teach you in a one-on-one, he's already taught on lectures. It's just you haven't seen that, so you're going to ask him for that conversation time. And the reason why one-on-ones are so expensive is because, let's say the daily class is only $97. But there's, almost 200 people on the daily class. So that's like $20,000. And so he's giving a 1 hour lecture, let's say, every day. So that's 30 lectures a month. So that's like $800 a lecture or something, $800 an hour. One-on-one time, and everybody benefits. Everybody watches the recording, so 200 people benefit. And they all upgrade to advanced camps or whatever, so it serves a much bigger purpose. You do a one-on-one call with somebody, and just that one person benefits. And he's just repeating something. And so it costs a lot of money. Historically, about $1,000 an hour, but I think it's going to be more now. And it's just people don't do it. The way to get one-on-one time with him is to be in Vegas. If you just come around Vegas, you'll be able to talk to him before talk, definitely talk with him after lecture, when you go out. It won't be a full-length private conversation, but little talks here and there adjusts you. And a lot of your questions and problems are really just coming from a state of mind. And so that's why the lectures answer your questions, even if they don't directly answer your questions. They change your state of mind, and then the problem is no longer a problem. Now you have new problems, but that old problem gets answered somehow because your state of mind was elevated. And, it's really, it doesn't have a ceiling. It's an infinite ceiling. That's why the advanced camps are what they are. They're advanced. Like, what more is there to learn? Some guys, they join the daily class, and they're like, it's already so advanced. It's so good. I just did an orientation call with a guy intelligent guy, but he's like, I want to watch these lectures like 4 or 5 times so I can really get it. I'm like, bro, you're never going to get it. Just keep watching. Because a lot of the earlier questions get answered in the later lectures. You just got to see it from a different angle. And when you feel ready, you join the advanced camps because it's a different level of consciousness. Literally, you know how like you go to a faucet and you can turn it into a trickle and then you can turn it on all the way and it's gushing and you can adjust it. He literally can adjust the power of his teachings. The potency. It's such an encyclopedia of game, psychology, understandings, language, influence, seduction. Like it's understanding all there is on that subject. It's at the forefront of it in humanity. It sounds hard to believe, but if you were going to go train with Dan Pena, if you were going to go train with Donald Trump, if you were going to train with the Gordon Ryan, the world champ of all world champs in jiu-jitsu, if you're going to train with Michael Jordan, bro, how much is that worth? Like, he's the greatest. He's the greatest. So in game, AZ is the greatest. It's just such a taboo subject. that even the guy that's Fernando's friend that makes whatever $100,000 a month or whatever the fuck the guy makes, who knows, maybe $100,000 a day, I don't know what the guy makes, still hesitates to learn game because there's so much ego wrapped up in that guy to admit that one is wrong and doesn't know what the fuck they're doing is difficult. I face it almost every day. I have to face that my game is no good. You're like, but Chris, you've been studying with AZD for 9 years. Yeah, I mean, my game is way better than you and way better than everybody you know. But, man, if you were looking to be 100 out of 100 on the seduction level, and everybody on earth is a 1, they're at level 1 or 2, and you are at level 10. So you whoop everybody's ass. But if you're at a 10 out of 100, are you good? That's the philosophical question of the day, everybody. No, I think not. I think if I was 80 out of 100, let's call that good. 90 out of 100, you're fucking ace. 100 out of 100, you're the GOAT. AZD's at 100 out of 100 just because we don't know anybody that can push the standard higher. He's at the maxed out at the standard. So he's the benchmark, 100 out of 100. I don't know if I'm at a 10, but it's an analogy. Everybody's really bad. Okay, I'm better than them. Okay, that's why I have 3 girls. Easy, effortless, no problem, obedient, under me. Talk to others, whatever. But it's not at his level, not even close. And I'm learning. And I come from my own unique position. So some guys are better at being a player, but don't step in the boxing ring with me. Don't step on the jiu-jitsu mat with me. Don't get in any kind of physical confrontation with me. Not because I'm going to beat you up, but because if you did, I would beat you up. Like, you know, I'm not trying to beat you up, but I also carry that with me, and you'd have to train for a long time to carry the same aura I do about fighting. It's just natural. I don't even try. So everybody has their own journey. He has to go on that journey. Maybe he's a player, but man, the first time he has to step up against a guy, not to fight, but just to make that guy back down, he'll know that he doesn't carry that energy. And that's going to be very embarrassing if his girl is with him. Versus, let's say, maybe my girl isn't as attractive. Okay? Got to make her more attractive or get more attractive girls. I get attractive girls on dates. There's a player beingness because I come from a different background, different upbringing. I don't have those character qualities by default when I came to AZD, so I'm learning those. Other guys are learning fighting. Other guys are learning financial responsibility. They're fucking a mess. Just like no ambition, no drive, no go-get-em attitude, no guts when it comes to putting themselves out there and making the money. So much pride, not willing to dig ditches or clean gutters. They'd rather be jobless than do that. Pathetic. But they can be a player and they know how to fight. Okay. Different dimensions of the man. You know, some guys are good on all that shit, but have terrible relationships with their parents, have no idea how to relate with their parents. And they can improve every area in life and never know how to relate with their parents. And that'll limit their success because they may get girls, but something will happen that triggers mom issues and then they lose the girl eventually. Or they just have toxic relationship forever because they didn't handle mom. You know, which is its own journey in itself, because just because you forgive her once doesn't mean it's over. You're going to become more and more aware, and you'll need to keep forgiving her. And that's the whole thing. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. So you guys on Zoom, we'll be going for another 10 minutes or so. I'm going to go live with Aska Aliahi. And if you guys got anything. Bus is here, got to run. Os! Peter, advanced. When you're ready, advanced. It'll change your life, bro. It's really good. I don't know why, but I consider you a fighter. I don't know if you fight, but I just see you as a guy that can scrap and would learn very fast how to scrap. You're like an athletic, smaller white guy. And smaller athletic white guys tend to learn how to scrap. You know, that's just what it is. So when you come here, when you move here, hopefully we'll have the fight center open by then, like we had in San Jose. And then we got a whole tribe of men that are all going to be training. It's going to be great. All right, what's up? Al-Skalalihi. Yeah.
That's good, bro.
Where are you calling in from, and how old are you, brother?
I'm 21, bro.
Right on. I remember being 21. Dude, you look 30. Where are you from?
Yeah, I know, because, like, too much shit, like, going on in my life, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, stress.
But it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, where are you from?
Where Well, I live in Australia now, but I was born in Iran.
Oh man, Peter just left. He should have heard that. Dude said he's from Australia. All right. Okay, so Australia, but from Iran, and 21, and cool, man. So what's up?
Well, I just see like because this is a burner account, like my Instagram. I don't have social media. It's just this one. I just look at our videos, and I saw like it was you, or I think it was Arash. He was talking about some game. He was spitting game.
Yeah.
But he was aligning with what I was thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, like, man, look, I was dating this chick for like when I was like 19, and then like just a few months ago we broke up, whatever. But the way she was, bro, like I had so many chicks at that time, you know, I had so many chicks around me. But when she came, she completely took off. Like we had this spiritual connection and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she keep coming, showing up to my dreams, bro. Like. I don't know. I don't even know. Her face keeps showing up to my dreams. Like, I was like, what the fuck? What is it?
After you broke up, or while you were with her?
No, while with her. Like, and then, like, I asked her, are you spiritual? Are you into occult? Are you into like mystical stuff?
Was she older than you?
She was a bit older than me.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
And then, she said, like, look, I never felt this way. You know, she stopped playing games with me.
Yeah, she seduced you.
Yeah, exactly. Bad, very bad. And then she never had makeup on. She was different, like innocent, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like she told me like she never been with a guy. I was like, what the fuck? That's the best opportunity for me, you know? Like I want to just talk to her, maybe marry her someday. You know what I mean? But it turned out that I went to her house one day and I saw a black like notebook, a completely pitch black notebook,
yeah.
And I saw a rope around it. Like, I don't know what the fuck it was. I opened it, she went to it, I opened it, and then I saw my pictures in there, like printed out pictures. And I asked her, what is this? She said, no, because I love you too much and stuff. Man, I tell you what, I still think about her to this day. I don't know what the fuck she did to me, but I still think about I don't know what to do, bro. I just don't know. She don't even give a fuck about me, probably. I don't know. But I'm just trying to get over her. Like, I just can't, bro. Like, I still check on her and stuff, like, stalk her, whatever you got. I mean, so I was asking for some advice and stuff because I'm still young. I'm in university, trying to grow a bit more. So I was going to ask you some advice. You know?
Yes, okay. So there's a lot in that, and it's fascinating. You know, I love the subject of game and seduction and relationships, so... You know, I've committed myself to learning it for 9 years now, 10 really the year before that, but with AZD for 9 years. And obviously I'm 37, so I have some life experience and whatever. And, you know, so we could talk forever about that. It's really unraveling a lot. So my questions, I'm going to have to ask you questions just to get an understanding. So about how long have you been watching Arash for on Instagram?
Bro, I just saw it like a video like a few days ago. I just like randomly on the show.
Okay, yes. So you are watching the world's best. So if you were into weightlifting, the advice of the world's best weightlifter might go over your head. It's just if you've never lifted before, or the world's best politician and you're studying politics, it may not. If you just started, it may not even make sense. It'll be opposite of what you think. But you resonate with it. I mean, he's Iranian, born in Tehran, and, you know, there's probably some resonance, right? So, other questions. How much have you studied or looked at game as a subject?
Bro, I studied, when I was, like, in high school, I studied power dynamics, like, you know, what's his name? Mystery. Yeah, I started reading Mystery's book, and... Not a lot. I forget about it now, but I start learning more. Start talking to women. Just out of.
Okay, so you read the book. Did you finish the book?
I never finished it. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, yeah, be honest. So did you Okay, and that's all the game. You've never watched any other videos or anybody from anybody?
Like I did watch a lot of videos from YouTube, but I don't remember them. But
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you should also know Mystery's greatest pickup artist of all time. And AZD's coach, when he first learned it, he's Mystery Method. However, that guy gets the most beautiful women, but crashes every couple years. because of psychological, emotional, we could call it issues. It's not that he's any worse than anybody else. It's just when you're at that high level, if you lose a girl or whatever, if you don't have the proper internal structure to handle that, then, I mean, you could go so introverted and there's so many triggers, mommy issues and all that shit. It sounds gay, and it is gay. But guys have mommy issues, right? And, the woman has no control over you that you do not relinquish to her. She can't get in your head unless you have vulnerabilities that allow her in. And so she is not some all-powerful fucking spiritual being that took over your body. You were a weakling who allowed yourself to be taken over. And she's probably not even conscious of what she's doing. She's just born with an innate ability to control men through their lust, because we live on a prison planet where men are controlled by their lust, which is like a demon or something. And so women, that's the way that God set up the game of life, so that women can wield like a sword. They can wield the power of a man, because a man is much more powerful than a woman. But she can control him through his emotions, and that's how she feels safe. In one way, that's in a beta way. If she's going to be with a man that she can control, then she at least has a bodyguard around her. She'll feel safer with an alpha male who commands bodyguards. But only if he is emotionally affected by her, so that if she knows that he's in love with her. But any signs of beta behavior where he will go against his better judgment for his emotions, that means being emotional, then she loses respect for him. So she wants him to emotionally love her, but not to be emotional as a man. He should be logical. He should represent survival. So let's go back to your situation. So the girl got in your head, in your heart. She breaks up with you, or you break up with her 2 years ago. You're still thinking about her. So, I mean, it's just like we went to the whole character issue. As you upgrade your character, that's what AZD's teaching. So you just came across AZD a few days ago. Okay, AZD was a protege of Mystery. And then Mystery handed him over to Matador, and he learned from Matador personally for 6 months or so. Then he went back to San Jose, and he had a whole life built for himself. He was a martial arts teacher, had an academy, started picking up chicks and teaching them martial arts. Eventually had so many beautiful women that he just separated the academies and had a women's academy and a fighting center. And a women's academy, hundreds of women, several of them were his girlfriends, guard dogs, police officer out front, blacked out windows, just coaching women at a women's center for like 10 years. Then he closed it down, but still had a bunch of girlfriends. He closed it down because COVID was happening, or about to happen. And, he was teaching women online, mentoring them. He was living with 6 girlfriends at a time. And, eventually that whole lifestyle changed. And so why am I saying all this? So he took the Mystery method and took it beyond. Like, he made a whole lifestyle, became the player of Earth, but using Mystery method, but having some a real life survival value. He was a martial arts teacher, very survival-oriented guy, very sharp mentally, knew a lot of psychology and this and that, advertising business, entrepreneur. So he had a lot of value as a man, very creative guy. And then on top of that, he learned game. So he knew how to properly seduce a woman, court the woman, pick her up and bring her into his life, and then learned seduction and became a master of seduction and relationships. Stopped teaching pickup, started teaching seduction and relationships as a separate topic from pickup. That develops. As you teach seduction and relationships, you naturally have to be teaching self-improvement. Guys got to improve. You can't just seduce a woman and get in a relationship with her without you as a man improving yourself. What are you going to do? You can't just learn lines and lines and stuff to talk to women to be in a relationship with them. You have to be a man. And how do you turn a boy into a man? How do you turn a beta man into an alpha man? You got to improve his character and change his beliefs, and that's what he's teaching. Beliefs, communication skills, ethics, ambition and focus, mental mastery. As you teach that for long enough, you start really getting to the spirit. Because if you're just teaching the mind for so long, there is a soul. You have a spiritual element to you that is beyond the mind. And if you don't address that, then you're going to get caught up into a bunch of mental traps, always working self-development, personal development. It's a bunch of mental masturbation. You are a spirit with a mind, a soul with a mind. If you just think that you're just a mind, then you're going to hit a ceiling when it comes to game. So he's teaching spirit, he's teaching communication, ethics, all this stuff. And he has discovered, more than anybody else, that to keep the woman, the high-value woman, multiple high-value women, and not be spending millions on it. He doesn't make millions, bro. He does well. Successful guy. Most of his money goes to one of his girlfriends that's very, very ill. Has an autoimmune things, has seizures and whatever. I know where his money goes. Most of his money goes to her medical bills. The rest, he lives regular. It's a regular income. And how do you have 7 tens as loyal, committed women? It's his character. Like I said earlier in the stream, how he responds to life is so charming, so seductive. The woman will have to face at some point that I cannot be with that guy, even though he has 6 other girlfriends, and deal with a regular guy who's boring, doesn't know how to respond to life in a way that she doesn't even know how charming AZD is until she interacts with AZD. Then it's like you get such a reference for how elevated you can feel interacting with a real man who seduces the whole world around him, and he's giving you time of day and giving you feelings and whatever. If you decide not to be with that because he has 7 other girls, you don't have access to that anymore. It would be like being with Elon Musk or Donald Trump or somebody, but he has 7 other women, so you don't want to be with him. But then, what's your second option? You know, and even at the highest levels, the girl who knows Donald Trump, there's a charm and an awareness in AZD that Donald Trump doesn't have about women. He has much more money, much more resources, power, everything. If a woman values that, then she could go with that. AZD is on a spiritual path. He's a monk. And so the seduction is a completely free individual that can say fuck you to the world. Donald Trump can't do that. So it's a bad boy. She gets to be with a bad boy. So go ahead. I'm giving you a long answer because I'm long-winded.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, actually. These are valuable to me. But how could he be a monk and be a seduction artist as well? I don't know. I'm trying to not understand this. Like, how could he be a spiritual person and seduce women? Because if you are actually spiritual, like you focus on God or whatever you believe in, all of this other stuff become your, what's it called, like your distraction. So
right.
You need to have that focus.
So then what are you going to do if you're so spiritual, not you, but if a guy is so spiritual, he's of God, righteous, should not women be with him? Isn't it for their good to be with him?
Bro, but I feel like in that spiritual path that or whoever taken, the way it is that these things will come to your way automatically because you develop this kind of magnetism or this energy because of the practices you do and stuff. So everybody get attracted to you, from animals to a man to a girl, whatever.
Yes, that's a great theory. Now, who is exemplifying that? Who is a role model for what you just said? Yeah, I get it. If you're of God, you should charm everybody, and everybody will want to be with you. Jesus was probably a player. Muhammad probably had 1 billion wives. You know, Buddha probably had 1,000 consorts. Like, okay, those are characters in history. I don't know them personally, like physically personally. So who do you know who's actually demonstrating what you just described? Even on the internet, who have you known that, just like you said, charms everybody, and then lots of women are given to them because they're so spiritual?
Well, me personally, I do have someone in my mind, but I can't speak about it. But I'm just saying though, like.
Well, so can you speak about it without naming the person, or who is in your mind, and what is the results that you're seeing?
But the results is this person. Look, I haven't seen Jesus or Muhammad.
Yeah, I mean a real person that lives right now.
Exactly. So right now, maybe that person showed me stuff in the spiritual realm that no one else did, and he's not even nowhere near AZD. As you said, he's probably the most good looking. He got the body.
Right.
Person is maybe old as hell. Like
Well, so no, but I mean, okay. Let me refine my question because it's still in theories. So let me get this straight. Let me make sure I understand you right. So if a man is of God and is truly righteous, then everything will be given to him, and he'll be, you know, he doesn't need to learn seduction because he'll naturally seduce the world, and women will be with him. Is that basically what you said?
No.
Oh, okay.
it has nothing to do with women. The thing I'm saying is, I'm saying, what you said, your soul, right?
Yes.
I'm saying when we develop that soul automatically, because everyone else comes from that supreme being, right?
I don't think we develop our soul automatically. I think we live in hell.
No,
And
yeah,
okay.
for sure. No,
Okay.
We
Okay.
go through phases and like practices and stuff like monks and stuff.
Okay.
So we develop that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that was your question was about being a monk. How is he a monk if he's also a seduction artist? Because if you're a monk, why would you learn seduction or something like that?
Exactly. I'm thinking
Right.
like if you're already getting that spiritual light and those visions, why would it need to enjoy this type of have these type of enjoyments like this kind of low type of enjoyments?
Well, it's a perspective. You have a perspective that these enjoyments are low. I don't think they're low, but I understand the question. Why would he have? Why would he be teaching seduction, or why would he be a seducer? Hold on, I need to.
Oh, can I ask you a question?
Well, is it different from this question? Because it's a really good question.
It's related to this, but I'm saying, are you a spiritual person? Do you have visions and stuff?
Yeah, of course. Look at my picture right here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm saying, look, Jesus himself, like, if you're a spiritual person and you actually, maybe he's alive but not in this realm,
Yeah.
and you actually get to be in touch with him, like, you just be completely, like, connected to that source. You'd be like, fuck money, fuck everything else. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but what good is that for life? This is the thing. That is a very slave mentality about spirituality. So here's my point.
Right.
When a man is righteous, and he's of God in whatever lineage that he's a messenger of God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then why should he not have relationships? That's the only kind of man that women should have relationships with.
Bro, but
That's the only kind of man that money should go to. That's the man that should have all the money. And I get it, you are detached from the outcome, and that's what I'm also telling on this stream, right, Sosa? That AZD was on a date with his girl at a casino gambling, completely detached from winning, from losing, from the shit, from the pit boss, from whatever is happening. And every reaction he gives, so free and detached, like a liberated person, is seducing the woman. Because unlike all those spiritual men, all those religious men who are, quote, of God, they are not charming. They are living in a kind of spirituality that repels women. And I believe, as a man of God, that God put the program, like Mystery said, he put the program in men and women so that the game continues. So that men and women mate and offspring are had and the game continues. So that's in the design that God designed. Why would I be celibate and go against that? And if I'm not celibate, then what women am I going to be with? And I see a million, billion, trillion spiritual guys on earth that still suck at relationships. And I don't know a single one that has good relationships. So all that spirituality can go in the garbage. Because how could you possibly be of God, but women don't want to be in relationships with you? It seems like your spirituality is anti-God. God would want the woman to be with a righteous man. So why learn seduction then? If in theory, if you were perfectly spiritual, you wouldn't need to learn seduction, because you're on a prison planet that has your mind filled with the wrong ideas for how to date, how to have relationships. As you come to God, you're still you're surrounded by an ocean of evil. Oh, he left. So I don't know if he was done with that. But anyway, I think everybody else liked it. I don't know if he didn't like it, that's why he left, or his phone died or something. Okay.
I thought it was interesting.
Dude, I was so interested in what I was saying. That's probably why he left, because I was more interested than he.
I have a question. Why do people get so hung up with like spirituality and stuff like that? Lust, like people want to like get rid of their lust and stuff like that. Like I don't get it.
Well, there's some people that are like all emotional about getting rid of their lust, and then there's people like me that are going to tell you that you'll never get good at game if you're lustful. So if you want to get good at game, you got to overcome your lust. Take it serious, because your lust is going to fuck up your game.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Joseph, monk, a member of a religious community of men typically living under vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. Yeah, typically, but again, typically on Earth, there's a lot of typicals that are not very good. You know, typicals, it's a slave planet. So, but as a member of a religious community, yes, we're very spiritual in IMC Nation, and it's of men, okay, and typically living under vows. He does have certain ethics when it comes to sexuality relationships that you learn as you train with him. So I recommend getting on his class to learn his philosophy, because his philosophy works. Other spiritual guys' philosophy doesn't work. Doesn't work. Unless you find a spiritual guy that has a great relationship with a woman, which you won't. I've met so many spiritual guys. I'm Yogi Chris. Hello. Poverty.